Okay, alright, we're live. I've not actually tested audio. You can hear that, great. Timer started. Let's get rolling. So, that's what we got cooking right away, right off the bat. Let's see what we got. So, there's S2, Serum 2 wavetables that I've not tested out. But that changes the pitch, and that's not something that I want to be doing. Though we could try to explore that. There's no harm. Let's bring it down to C1. C2. Very basic. And let's have it do some movements. We're going to end it here, start it there, make it go like that. Alright, we're cooking with a little something here. Let me just sort of get an idea of what that sounds like to the average viewer. One moment. I can't hear anything. Why can't I hear anything? Strange. Okay, I can hear it there. Give me a sec. I can hear it there. Testing. Give me a sec. I can hear it there. Testing. Give me a sec. I'm gonna go dabba dabba doo dabba dee dabba doo doo doo. I'm gonna go dabba dabba doo dabba dee dabba doo doo doo. Alright. Alright. Enough of that. We can hear me. Alright, cool. Look at that. That is so beautiful. And I think, I mean, where would we be without some, you know, not sidechain, but frequency modulation. But we can try different stuff. Swap warps. Oh, that does nothing because there's nothing on this warp. Makes sense. Let's do a Let's reduce the random so that it's consistent each time. That's warm. Bassy. Let's explore some other stuff. Now, that's something that I don't really see often, but it is very gritty. Alright, let's make that slower. Increase that. Try this at different octaves. I think we're sitting pretty with that octave, to be honest, and we should try basic shapes. This time we're going to just do a classic sine, and we're going to RM this time. I don't even know what RM is, but we're going to RM it. try different octaves again. It does feel like 3 might be the one, but it's very powerful, perhaps too much. Hey, what up, Ton? Welcome to the stream, yo. We're working on really weird sounds. I kinda like that, actually. It's a bit gritty, but I kinda like it. I think we chill with that one. And let's actually get an LFO going. Something wibbly. Now, the problem is that right now that clicking sound isn't in any sort of beat, but let's force it to be so. It's not nice, but we can always chop it. We can always chop it up. Now, what if I also FM the noise? That might sound absolutely atrocious. Let's give it a go. Not gonna lie, kinda got a fapping sound going. Well, that's the plan. That's the plan. It's the morning wank. Does it though? Does it have a fapping sound? That's the noise, but it doesn't sound very noisy. Let's try. Ooh, phase distortion of self? That's naughty. That's gonna sound disgusting. Oh, barely a difference, to be honest. Phase distortion noise. Honestly, not much of a difference. Do you like the fapping sound? We're just exploring here. So this is that sound with the noise, without it. I think it's cleaner without the noise, which, I mean, it makes sense. Now, speaking of cleaner, let's make it even cleaner. So right now this is going through main, but I want it to go out to filter 1. A little bit of a dial-up and fapping giving me PTSD. Why are you fapping to the dial-up sounds? That is not the time, is it? Unless you really like hold music. Edging to hold music. You edging to hold music, buddy? No judgments here. I personally really like that sound, actually. What's more? Okay, you know what? I can hear the fapping. Should we make it pure fap then? We've been inspired by the fap. You've inspired me, Tom. Let's see. There's a bit wet. That's quite fappy. Then we can change the cutoff to find it more fappy. Maybe about there. Fuck with the resonance, make it more fappy. Maybe about there. In terms of fuck with the mix, make it more or less fappy. I think about there. Alright, Tom, since you're here with me, you get a choice. Shall we include next, bode, chorus, or compressor? You choose. You've got 6 seconds to decide which one you want us to work with. Bode, chorus, or comp. 6, 5, 4, compressor. Alright, let's fucking go. Let's get rid of this other. Oh, we can move it? Can I just throw it away? Nope. Anyway. That's awesome. That's quite cool. And let's try that out. Let's have a little bit of fun, see what happens. Really just fuck shit up. So whilst this is all, this guy's going whoa, 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 whilst fapping. Without the compressor? With the compressor. I think you would agree with me that it sounded better without all of this, without all of these steps. Just simple template. Did you end up reviewing some viewers' songs? No. No one has sent any songs in. I mean, I do plan on doing it. In fact, I've got some songs lined up of friends. I would like to do viewer songs, but I don't get enough viewers. You know what I mean? It would be awesome to do 3 songs. I'll probably do as many as I can, but at least 3 songs, and then I can turn it into a video, to like a TikTok or a YouTube or Instagram reel, you know? Do you produce? If so, I'd love to review your song. Love it. Okay, let's not put that onto the gain. Would you like something released or unreleased? Up to you. So what you need to remember is that if I make, when I'm doing it on stream, this stream stays up forever. So 1, anyone watching the stream will get to see this song, and 2, it'll be on YouTube forever. And then 3, if I make content out of it, then it will be on TikTok forever, YouTube Shorts forever, and Instagram Reels forever. So if you do something unreleased, that's fine, because when it is released, it's already, I've done a little bit of promo for you. And when I do so, I'll tag you in the release. So I'll say like the song name dash, then your Instagram handle, right? Maybe not on TikTok because it's difficult to find people on TikTok, but on Instagram, definitely. Sure. I've got something. All right, fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, all right, cool. But yeah, so I do have, I think I've got a set date for when I do the song reviews, but I'm happy to review your song right now, to be honest. But I'm not going to make content out of it. So the 2nd of August, if you're down and you're around, just put the link in. Yeah, go ahead, buddy. Yeah, that's fine. So on the 2nd of August, if you're down and you're around, because this one I'm not going to be making content out of because it's just 1 song, you know? But if I can get 3 or 4, and I've got the plans with my friends' songs already there, so I'll include your song if you're around on that stream. You can just put it in the chat, and then I can I can give you review and feedback and all that sort of fun stuff. You can do it now if you want, or you can do it on the 2nd of August, and that's when I'll make the content out of it, or you can do both. I'm happy to do it for 2 different songs as well. All right, let me grab that for you. Copy link address. And open up on Opera. Tundra, thinking. Is this, let me guess. C minor, 128 beats per minute, am I right? Tell me I'm wrong. Not maybe. It's correct. Okay, so the reason I know that is because in the URL it's thinking C minor 128. So, okay, so right off the bat, the atmosphere is fucking awesome. The way that you build atmosphere in the beginning, so clean, so beautiful. Now the drop, also really cool. I really love the concept, and it's definitely quite unique, and that's something that I really I heavily fuck with. There is a slight distortion, which I don't think, I mean, distortion is good, but this distortion I don't think is correct, in the sense that there's a little bit of harshness on the main synth. It's like a bit crush distortion, but I think it might be just too much. I think it would be better as an accent rather than the whole thing. Yeah, it sounds like bit crush. Maybe it's just a square wave. I don't know. It sounds like a bit crush. I think it's dispersed from kilohertz. Gotcha. Love that. Love that. Yeah, I would recommend maybe doing that as parallel, to add it as like a flavor, as like an accent, and that way you can control the mix a little better, because the way that it is right now is arguably too much. The mix sounds quite decent. You've got some melody notes coming in really cleanly. Yeah, the mix sounds really clean. Those melody notes that on top is coming out really clean. You've done a really good job there. I like that. The fuckery with the vocals, I really like that. You've done really well with those vocals, the movements and everything, really nice. That legato glide, slow glide is fucking beautiful. Genuinely, I'm so glad that you sent me the song. It is a really nice song. It's very pretty, and it is well created. I love how the song structure isn't a classic song structure. There is real creativity here. It's really quite awesome. Decent use of space, the claps being nice and out to the side. The synths are also really quite out to the side, but not too much. I think you've got the right sort of spacing for the different frequencies. Now, I'm not a huge fan of sweeps, right? Like, and if I'm not mistaken, it doesn't sound like you're a huge fan of them either, but it does feel like a noise sweep down here would sound nice. You know, after that. Now nice and gentle. It doesn't need to be nice and gentle. It doesn't need to be overwhelming and sweet. If you wanted to include it, you don't have to. Genuinely, having it without is itself a flavor, I would say. And I absolutely agree with the decision not to, though I think I personally would put one in. Really awesome, bro. Honestly, I can't really think of much negative feedback or like much to constructive criticism, you know, because there is, it's just really, really well done, really, really beautiful melody. You stick to that melody throughout, but it still allows the melody to evolve. In terms of drums, I think you smashed it. Personally, I prefer halftime, but honestly, it sounds great. You did good sample selection, and everything is neat and exactly where it should be in the headspace. In terms of mix down, it's very, very clean. One thing is, yeah, that song with the dispersion. Disperser should be, maybe I would say, yeah, parallel it, so that it's not super overwhelming, more of an accent rather than a... But otherwise, honestly, really, really, really nice song. Yeah, and I think the picture is really pretty as well. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I also do the effects last. Yeah, always. And that's why I don't do them, because I do them last. No, fucking real nice, bro. Thanks for sending that over. I think I've got disperse kilohertz. I've got a bunch of kilohertz stuff, but I think I've only got the free stuff. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, I've got phase plant and multipass, which were not free. But yeah, I don't have this. Actually, it's upside down. Dynamics, distortion. No, I don't have disperser. Yeah, honestly, I don't use kilohertz because phase plant. I had a lesson from. Do you know Tynan? Tynan he's a dubstep guy, but he gave me I got a lesson from him in production and whatnot. And he was just talking about how kilohertz is a fucking game changer. It's like Serum on steroids. I tried it, but Serum is still more fluid to me. I mean, I don't even, and I'd have to relearn phase plant. I'm sure it is powerful, it's just very modular. Disperser is like a specific frequency distortion. Yeah, because we've got that here, but it's called bode. Yeah, bode's good as well. Anyway, let's so I'll give you a choice: flanger, bode, or phaser. Reverb, phaser. You choose. Which one are we going to fuck with next? Flanger, bode, or phaser? You've got 6 seconds. 6, 5. Phaser. Alright. Heavy fuck with that. Alright, there's a lot of fun to be had with phaser. So, I'm going to reduce the rate down to 0 so that we've got full control over it. And I'm going to increase the poles a bit to give it more guttury, throaty sound. About there. There is a lot of fun to be had here. In fact, I'm going to have this on depth too. Now, the reason I'm keeping this depth all the way down is because if I've got it anywhere else, then it becomes stereo. But here, it's almost completely mono. Yeah, I think it might be completely mono, to be honest. And that still allows us to change the pitch or the frequency of that peak without changing it around the headspace, which shouldn't affect the dynamics too much. So here's low, and I'm going to try to find the highest peak. So let's do it this way. Low. About there. So now we can go up and down. And we can still fuck with the frequency here as well. Try to find the lowest possible one, which I think would be there. And then try to find the highest possible one. Again, we're going to move the macro all the way to the top. And it's the highest, not the highest possible, because the highest possible would just be the highest possible frequency, but I'm looking for the highest possible one that sounds good. So we're going to start here. About there. And we've got a lot of movement now. We've got a lot of fun to be had. Maybe we try to fuck with the phase, see what happens. Yeah, not too much happens. The reason being, this depth is down at 0. Alright, awesome. Alright, would you like convolve, reverb, or hyperdimension? You got 10 seconds to decide. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Hyper, awesome. Alright, let's go. Love that. Again, I'm going to bring the rate down to 0. Bring the rate down to 0 and fuck with the G tune. About there. And fuck with the mix now. About there. And I'm going to fuck with this. And this is something that I never really fuck with. I normally fuck with the hyper, but never the dimension. Let's try it. I'm going to do the mix all the way to full, and then just see what happens. Let's just explore. I never really fuck with this, so it's good to try. That's kinda cool. Now, what if we put that on an LFO? Sounds like you hitting a PVC pipe. It does sound like that. That's the phaser for you. Yeah, that happens a lot. That happens a lot with my sounds. We could have that, but I think it actually is better if we just do a bit of that. And now let's see if fucking with this LFO makes a difference. Because now that the sound is really quiet, this might not make a difference anymore. Still does. No, we still need it. Alright, cool. And then we can still fuck with this macro, which changes the frequency. Which gives us a lot of fun to be had. Alright, you once again, you get a choice here. Would you like distortion, bode, or let's go with filter. Distortion, bode, or filter. We've got 10 seconds. Distortion. Bro was ready. Bro was like, I don't give a shit what the next stuff is. We're going distortion. Now, that's too much distortion. Let's stack it up. That's the most amount of distortion that we can get. I'm not pressing anything. This is just what's happening. So if you can see how I'm pressing it just over here. Pressed it once and it's still going. I'm not pressing anything. That's just the sound of it, right? It could be because of this, the dimension, and the hyper. I would assume it's just a dimension. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck that on there and have that go like that. Shit, let me just remember where we're at. That's 74%. So yeah, I'm going to bring that and bring it up to 74%. And that means that only when this is activated will the hyper be activated, will the dimension be activated. So, all right, hey, it's okay. So maybe it's hyper then, that's causing this. So let's do the same thing with hyper. And hyper went to about there. I'm not gonna remember the numbers anymore. Nope, didn't work. It looks like distortion just wants to be distortion. But that's fine. That's parallel distortion. Fucking disgusting. Alright, but we've had our fun. Let's turn the drive down. Alright, that's good. I do need to clean it up a little bit, so I'm going to add an equalizer myself and just cut out that a bit as a frequency. Put it before the distortion. Increase the Q. I don't know if you can hear, but there's certain frequencies that are like almost humming, and I'm just trying to get rid of that. About there, let me see if I can do more. About there. Without? With. We could probably pump the distortion up a little bit more now. About there is actually really, really clean. Really quite nice. Alright, cool. Without? With. Clean as fuck. Lovely. Alright, cleaner as fuck. Alright, so maybe we keep going just for funsies. Actually, let's say that before we lose it, what should we call this? You've got 20 seconds to think of a name. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh shit, bro doesn't want to use spaces. Marble down a PVC pipe. Cool, saved. And let's keep moving. We'll keep using this. I really quite like it. And we're going to, you get a choice here. Would you like reverb, convolve, or let's go with delay. Reverb, convolve, or delay. You get 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, convolve. Let's fucking go. Good choice. And once again, you get a lot of control here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 options. Choose a number from 1 to 7, please. You got 7 seconds to decide. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Alright, we've got a lot of different options here. I don't know how many there are here, so I'm not going to count. Just choose a random one here. Just, yeah, choose a random one. We're just going to use it. You've got 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Multivox. Alright, oh, it's probably over here. Multivox. Alright, cool. Alright, let's fuck with it then. That's what we're listening out for. I'm going to turn that down so that it's a texture rather than a reverb. Because over here, that's a reverb. Down here, that's a texture. And we can modulate that. Too much modulation. Make it much more subtle. In fact, I want that movement, but I want it slow. Lovely. And now let's fuck with the pre-delay. Yep, let's modulate that. Awesome. Cool. All right. All right, keep fucking with it. Good as heck. Good decay. We don't need dampening. Alright, cool. That was a fucking awesome choice, by the way. I've never done that before. And we can fuck with the frequency still. Awesome, 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 awesome. And what we could do is put LFO2. We're not going to do it yet, but I'm just going to show you. We're going to put LFO2 rate onto LFO3. And then we could have a lot of fun with that. We could go and do that. Right, we could go like that. And would be better if we include trips and dots. In fact, would be better if we do it on hertz. Right, and we could make that as an envelope and just bring it down like that, and would be cool if I could bring that down to 0, but let's try that. Right, right, bring it over to 4 bars. And then it sits there. And then we fuck with the frequency in the song. But that would mean that we need to keep it mono and ideally legato, so that every time I press a new button, it doesn't just, because that's annoying. And in fact, if I go lowering in octave, it gets real funky. Higher in octave. Cool, you see it stops there, so we can change that by changing the phase. So maybe if it starts there and it stops there, then maybe we start it here, and it should stop there-ish. I think it would stop there, actually. Let's figure it out. Oh, cool. Yeah, there we go. We can go a little more forward, and that should make it stop there, which is nice. We've got a little more control that way. If we wanted it to. But we could try to make it stop right at that peak right there by putting it there. Oh, we want it just before that peak or at the top of the peak. Oh, might as well just move this, because that works as well. Lovely. Alright, cool. You've made this. Really good stuff. Getting funky with it for sure. Alright, let's save this one now. What are we calling this? You've got 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Fuck, I don't know, man. Alright, cool. Let's keep it moving. We can definitely add more to this, because, I mean, it sounds cool, don't get me wrong, but we can definitely have more fun with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck on an equalizer. Apologies for not asking you for this one, but I think I want to just explore this for a hot sec. I'm going to put the frequency on that. I'm going to make it go 30% that way. I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to make it go 30% that way and bring that down to here and see what that sounds like. Alright, that's cool. And now I'm going to put this onto... Ooh, let's put it onto the cue, see what happens. Too much. That's got potential, and we'll put it on the cue on this one, but backwards. Let's really see what that happens. What happens there? That's weird. Cool. Awesome. Apologies for taking control there. Let me just throw on a multiband compressor to balance the frequencies out. Alright, cool. Alright, once again you're in control. So, would you like bode or chorus? Just those two. They're the only two options you get, bode or chorus. Let's see what you choose. You gotta call it 5 seconds for this one because it's only 2. 5, 4, 3. Bode. Man, when you write bode, it looks like a weird word. Bode does not look like body. All right, let's mono the input just to. I know that we've already done hyper dimension, but let's. Oh, apologies. I'll be right back. Somebody is at my door. One moment. I took a Bodhi this morning. Damn, that's mad. All right, one moment. I'm glad you took a body this morning. Wait, what does that even mean, bro? Alright, so let me just test to see if mono input is the same as turning off hyperdimension. I feel like it won't, because I think that there is some frequency shifting already going on from the hyperdimension, so it should sound different, but let's explore that. So this is mono input with hyperdimension, and this is mono input without hyperdimension. It is very similar, actually. Hang on, let me focus in. Yeah, no, hyperdimension definitely adds a little bit of texture there. You still here, Tom? I know I left you for a bit of... I'm sorry about that. Without? With? Without? Alright, I think, just for the time being, let's keep that bypassed. Keep the hyperdimension bypass. Yeah, I'm just gaming and vibing. Awesome. What game you play? I heavy fuck with Overwatch. Heavy fuck with Overwatch. I think we mono input just because it is already very wide, and this is going to make it wide anyway. Alright, I'm thinking we use this to bring it down to absolute 0. Too much. It's the width that's too much. We could probably still have it high, just change the width down a bit. Fuck with the delay. Nope, fuck with the feed. Ooh. Elden Ring at the moment. Damn, bro, I've never played it. I've heard good things. It's not online, is it? It's a story game, isn't it? It's weird. Direction and balance, I swear, is the same thing. Nope. That is not to the left. And neither is that. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I think it just fucks with the width anyway. Whatever, doesn't matter, I don't want it anyway. Alright, that's awesome, but it takes too long. Let's bring it down to 2 and make it go like that. There it is. Alright, and let's change that to end right there on the line. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Alright, what should we add next? Honestly, it's sounding pretty cool, man. Okay, I'll give you one last choice. Actually, this isn't a choice. I'm just gonna take over. This is how I'm gonna finish it off. We'll finish it off with a, let me bypass this stuff. So starting off with a multi-band compressor. So that's just to even out the sound a bit. Not too much because I don't want to lose the integrity of the sound. Without? With. Let's do single instead. There we go, that's much better. There we go. It reduces the dynamics, but still keeps the multi-band dynamics, and I think that might be important. Next, we're going to once again duck somewhere between 200 to 500-ish. Find some sort of mod. Maybe about there. And we're going to chuck on some soft clip. Let's go. Too soft. Alright, let's do overdrive, fuck it. I fucked it up. The whole time it was bypassed. That's on me. The new Elden Ring is 3-player online, but I'm playing the main game. Okay, cool. 3-player online, that's sick. That's like Brawl Stars. I love Brawl Stars. That's a mobile game. Let's call it about there. I have no clue if that's going to sound so funny. Too brutal. Maybe there. Okay, without the EQ and distortion? With EQ and distortion. It's needed. It's needed, unfortunately. Now, I'm going to add on utility and decrease the width, because it doesn't need to be as wide as it is. What would be cool is almost having the width do what this is doing, but slight delay. Slight delay. So I'm actually going to do that, and then have that, and bring it up to 2 bars, just like the other one is, and make it an envelope. So this starts there, this starts there, and that's going to go up and then back down again. It's going to go up to, at maximum, 100, or 99 looks like. And now I can just control where it ends. Cool, and let's really just fuck shit up. Cool, cool, cool. There we go. There we go. That's awesome. That's very clean. That's very fun. What are we calling this one, bro? You've got 10 seconds to decide. It cannot be fuck I don't know man again. It could. It might just be a fuck I don't know man too. You got 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Sorry, I'm counting too fast. 5, 4, 3. Fuck, man. I don't know, man. Fuck. Alright, I fuck with that. I don't know, man. Fuck. Alright, cool. Okay, so now that we've got that, let's explore different wavetables. Right? So let's turn that off, and have a listen to just this on its own. Yeah, let's turn that off. Alright, now this is going to be amplitude, looks like amplitude modulation. I think that's what AM is. Amplitude modulation, we're going to go to basic shapes, and we're going to bring it to sine wave. And there is no sound. Oh, that's because it's down. Too low. Let's turn off the filter. We're just exploring, seeing what happens. Let's try FM, because that's a classic. There's not a huge amount of changing there. Let's turn on hyper. And let's slowly turn off the plugins and see what happens. That convolve is doing a lot of the heavy lifting. My god. With convolve? Without. Let's keep the convolve on. That sounds very noisy without the equalizer. Where is this equalizer? Let's see. Oh, it's doing, okay. Ooh, that bode has done a lot. Alright, let's keep that utility on, let's keep the convolve on, and let's delete all of this other shit. And yeah, this is perhaps a bit too complex, so let's try something else. Ooh, now we're talking. Damn, son. This needs to chill out. There's nothing assigned to you. Relax. Bypass all just destinations. Ooh. I mean, there is a lot of fun to be had here. Alright, we can absolutely fuck with this shit a little more. Let's put some soft saturation on it. What if you change the 180-degree thing? Oh, this bad boy? So that decides where in this waveform it starts, but you're absolutely right. You can make some really cool stuff here. Let me turn off the saturation and let's have some fun with that. Not a huge difference there, but let's try it here. Not a huge difference there either, but it's not a bad idea to have it over there in the beginning anyway, and let it do its thing. We could. I liked how it was there, that gritty. Do you like this sound? I feel like I quite like it, to be honest. What is this? Oh, that's the wavetable position. Oh yeah, I see. All right, cool. So beautiful looking. Let's fuck with the harmonics. Too much of that harmonic. And because I've made it so quiet, I need to increase this, I think. There is a lot of fun here. There is a lot of fun here, I think, to be honest. Let's try FMing this from the sub, and this is going to be a simple sine wave. Now, that's vibrating like that because it's only on -4. If we bring it up, that frequency of wobble is going to go up. But that's what frequency modulation is. This is the frequency of -4 of the octave of sine wave. Right there is the highest. Let's increase the semitones. We can have fun with that, can't we? We can, of course, have fun with that. Let's just fuck with it, see what happens. Such a small change, 5%. About there. What is that? 5%? 3% this time, okay. Alright, I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to make it delay by a certain amount because it only really kicks in once this gets to... Oh. Hang on. Ah, I know why. It's because I haven't done the delay yet. Alright, so if I chuck on a delay of 1 bar, that should give us something. Madness. Cool. There's a lot of fun to be had there. About there. And let's do a half a beat rise. Cool. This is too strong. Getting to tear out territory, you reckon? Maybe this. This is tear out for sure. But I feel like it depends on how, because look, if we get a legato in here, and get a really slow legato, we can have fun with that. I don't know. I'm fucking around here. You could definitely tear out this shit. Should we fuck with that then? Should we do tear out then? And we're going to do that, and we're going to do that, and so it's going to start low. And then it comes in. Let's get some more distortion in here, surely. Once again, overdrive. You know I love that shit. And let's try doing that same thing with the mix here. Although we could fuck with it this way. Let's try that. Let's try that. Hang the fuck on. Hang the fuck on. It could sound trash, but it also might not. It does. It sounds trash. Let's try it the other way around. That's kind of cool. Alright, yeah, I fuck with that actually. What do you think? You fuck with that? Tell me you fuck with that. You don't have to tell me that if you don't fuck with that. Now, what I do want to do is have a little bit of the lip there. So that feels like it's sucking you in, because otherwise it feels like it's stabbing you. I don't want to stab, I want to suck. Double C, starting up my 2002 Hyundai. Sounds good, awesome. Alright, so what do you reckon? Shall we try to enhance that squeaky squeak? Let's get a phaser. Actually, again, you get a choice here. Would you like chorus, phaser, or flanger? Standard stuff. They're not the exact same, but they do very, very, very similar things. You got 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Fucking awesome, man. Alright, chorus. So once again, we're going to bring the rate down. I'm just going to explore with the chorus. I don't really know what I want out of this yet. I'm going to put the mix all the way up just so we can hear it very clearly. Let's try fucking with that. Other way around. Cool. Turn up the feedback so we can hear it nice and clearly. Cool, and we fuck with the depth as well. Now that is watery. This is fucking awesome. I'm so glad you chose chorus. There we go. And now let's fuck with the mix and see what we like. It might be full 100%. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Surely. It's not bad, right? We're getting a little crazy with the stereo, but to be honest, it's kind of cool. It's definitely tear out because you're absolutely right. There's no tonal sounds there. You know what I mean? What should we go with next? We've got a lot of fun to be had. Should we fuck with Bode? Should we have a fucky with a Bode? Doesn't even have a fucking effect. There it is. Cool. We fucking with Bode. There's mono input. And let's put the width on that bad boy like that as well, and make it end quite high, so we can go. Let's find a nice shift. Let's modulate the shift. Correct, good work. And let's modulate the range. Fuck it, who cares? About there? Sure, why not? Who the fuck's gonna stop us? Let's fuck with the blur. And let's put that on that, so that we can fuck with it whenever we want. Blur. Hey, what happens if we put this on blur? Not the greatest. Let's remove just LFO4. Alright, cool. I quite like that sparkly glistening sound on the top there. Do you like that? What I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck a phaser on there and I'm going to try to enhance that glistening sound. Alright, and we're going to fuck with the mix now. What's causing that? It's this. That's not bad. Let's throw a distortion on that and make it part of the sound. What up, CDK? Oh, Sai. What up, Sai? How's it going, bro? See, that's alright, but it's losing its high end, so I'm going to try to do hard clip instead. Cool, and we're going to put the drive onto that. And decrease the mix outside. Did you release the last song? No, bro. You think, how quick do you think I work? That last song, I still need to do the mix down and mastering on it, and it's in a queue of like, I don't have it here, but it's in a queue of like 15 songs before it. I'm fast at making songs, I am not fast at releasing them, unfortunately. This shit is hurting my ears right now. Bro's not a dubstep guy, huh? I'm not surprised though. It is a bit brutal. Alright, I'll chuck on a compressor and I'm going to try multiband. Yeah. You know what? Look up in the chat, it's Ton. It was Ton that's caused this. Ton has made almost all of my decisions here. If you don't like this, it's Ton's fault entirely, to be honest with you. But this is interesting. Now that there's two of you, it's kind of a bop though. You and your bops, bro. Okay, guys, what do you think? Is the distortion and compressor good or no? So without the distortion and compressor? With the distortion and compressor. It makes it quieter though. Let's try single band. Without. Damn, alright. It is too loud though, so I do need a compressor on there. Actually, let me compare it with a compressor so that you can get an idea, because otherwise the compressor, it's just too loud is the only problem. Okay, so this is on its own versus with distortion and compression. I hear it, yeah, fuck distortion and compression. Yeah, alright, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You know Miles beat all over again, man. You and your Miles, bro. It's a good sound, man. I really do like this sound, to be honest. Imagine this. You're resting on a beach. You pick up a glass of, I don't know, something. This shit is like a teleportation sound. It is, actually. Yeah, fuck yeah. And so this could, I'm thinking like this sort of sound is something that's not a main synth, but it's in between the main synth. So imagine like, sort of thing, right? That's what I'm thinking. It's in between. It adds. Yeah. I mean, yeah. All right. So what we calling this? I'm saying let's be fucking finished with this chain of events and let's get started with something else. What are we calling this? You got 10 seconds to decide. 10, 9. First person say 8, 7, 6. Teleportation of Ton. Okay. Teleportation. Forgot how to spell teleportation there. Of Ton. Bang. Alright, let's start again with an init preset. Ooh. Init LFOs plus buffer mods. No, what if we resample to oscillator A? Bang. And let's get rid of all of this shit. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. And in theory, get rid of this. In theory, if I go here like that, from here to there, this should be the entire synth. But we've got to go real slow. I think it's a 2-bar situation, but let's see. Wow. Wow, I forgot to turn the level up. My guy Ton over here chilling and not chatting. Yeah, he's vibing. But he's spinning. He's just dancing. He's being teleported. Oh, it's because I've got a delay on. And rise. And it's because I've got it 5 octaves up. Man, that's fucking disgusting, isn't it? Whatever, let's just find a nice little synth, a nice little waveform in here, yeah? This is packed with a lot of good waveforms, actually. I like that one. This has got a lot of alien transmission. It is alien transmission AF. I hope you're not trying to name that last synth, because you are way late if that's the case. But this one does sound like alien transmission for sure. The whole thing, 70. Yeah, alien transmission as fuck. I quite like this synth though. And I'm thinking, what if we just stick with just that synth? I know I'm opening up a new one, but let me explore this actually. Not FM. Yeah, FM from A, yeah. There, that's not sounding good, is it? It's not sounding good to me. We could just make it a nice little simple wobble, but who wants that? This isn't... This stream isn't called making basic sense that everybody's heard before, is it? Ass, to be honest. Absolutely. Fuck yeah. Yeah, you tell it. Alright, let's get rid of this shit. I'm glad that you told me that, because otherwise I'd be sitting there trying to make ass good. Not gonna happen. Alright. Alright, this synth already just sounds awesome. Let's enhance it itself by adding... There isn't overdrive here, which is interesting, because they've added overdrive into Serum 2 as an effect, but then added distortions into the wavetable section, but not the new ones that they've added. Very interesting. Apologies. Let's try rectify. Fucking awesome. Sine shape is going to be just sick, to be honest. All right. I think we're chilling and killing over there. I think we get a wisp. I don't know what that is, but wisp. Because there is a lot of fun to be had there. And let's have it gently wobble. Gently wobble. Just keep that high end in. Do we keep that high end in? What do you reckon? Yo, I'm gonna go do something. Okay. See you later, Si. I'm not sure if we should keep that high end. Let's try that out. And, alright, you get the choice, Ton. I think Ton, flanger or phaser. Or bode. 10 seconds, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is anybody here? Is anybody here still? Alright. I'm going to use all three, since I've already laid them out then. Alright, fuck it. About there's good. Increase the feedback. See, I'm getting too much crunch. I'm getting too much crunch in certain areas. Let me get rid of this. And let's put that there. So I'm locked in on my game, alright. No worries, bro. Do what we gotta do. Alright. About there. And let's bring in phaser. Oh my god, this is making my ears melt. Love that. see if there's any difference with depth 2. There is. So we're going to have it start there on the high end and bring it down to the low end. Alright, start it there. On the highest end. That should be low. No, that should be high. So we actually need to reverse that round. And start it there. About there, and end it on the low, which is right there. And now let's bring in bowed. Do subtle movements, so just 2 hertz. Nope, more. Let's try 3, 4 hertz. Nope, let's try fuck more. Let's do bowed shift to just -1. Try -5. Turn off mono input. Awesome. And we want the high end here, which is there. We want the low end here. Awesome. Let's get compressor on that. Multi-band it. And put the mix of the bowed onto envelope 1, because otherwise it's just too much. Turn down the width. Let's explore. Increase the blur. Frick. Call it freak. Unfortunately, I spelt freak wrong, but I think that's fine. Awesome. Let's chuck some reverb on it and call it a day on this one, I think. We're going to put the reverb on envelope 1 so that it only plays when the synth is not playing. I quite like this plate verb. It sounds almost like a reverberator, like a resonator. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the mix on it, but the other way around. how do I bring this back to flat zero? Cool. Flat zero this motherfucker as well. Oh, default is fine. And default. Alright, cool. A lot of coolness here. Nitrous, what the fuck is that? Fucking sick. It is added up real quick, okay. Okay, try basin. Alright, let's remove all modulators. Oh. Cool. I kind of want to modulate that, but I kind of want it to be more random than anything else. And let's get distort delay, I mean. Ping pong. Nope, let's do normal and make it third. Let's slow it down. All right, now we're going to make sure that the reverb doesn't come in whilst the synth is playing, and the delay doesn't come in whilst the synth is playing, and that should clean it up a little bit as well. Try different phases. That's a cool way to start the synth, to be honest. All right, let's do some envelopes with that. I wish I could control that now, but all right. What am I going to call this one? Todd, if you're here, give me a name, please. And Ton, if you're not here, I'm going to call it Ton Sahur. You got 10 seconds. Oh, Reduvula. All right, cool. Reduvia. Cool, done. Now, what I'm going to do is all of this stuff that is attached to macro 1, I'm actually going to instead attach it to LFO 3. Because I think that'll be cool. I could be wrong. Let's give it a go. LFO 3. LFO 3. LFO 3. There is a lot more things than I remember. Oh, that's why all of this stuff isn't actually assigned to anything. Okay, cool. And adjust this. And can I put, not velocity, but note onto that? Modulate Y, LFO bus 1, sure. Pitch band filters, MPE, no. Macros, oscillators, note number. Thank you, Tim. Look at this. We've got mayo, barbecue, ketchup, and egg thing. I am going to go downstairs to eat with Tam because I want to. All right, it's been real. Thanks for coming down. Actually, let me save this synth before I go. Okay, C2, not C32. C2 is the ideal range for this. No, C1, sorry, is the ideal range for this. And thanks for coming down, Ton. I really appreciate you. We've had a lot of modulation there. That's awesome. Where is note length? We're going to increase that dramatically. Fucking sick. Love that. All right. You have a good one, buddy. Wait, before I go, what should we call this? We've got 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Good one. All right, done. All right, look, thanks for coming down. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to stop the timer right now. As if it actually stopped time, but it didn't. All right, it's been real. Thanks for coming down, Ton. I hope to see you later. I'm going to be on later today anyway to do more streaming because it's fun. I like making